Hey guys, thanks for grabbing a cup. So, today I have a rather frustrating and difficult decision that I have to make. For those of you who don't know, I work in the film business. I do cinematography and camera work in general. And a lot of the way that this business works is not so much, oh, you get a job and you work it for 9 to 5, 6, 10, 12 months, and get a good thing on your resume, and you get a job through that, or you move up in the ranks. It's not really how it works. In this kind of business, most of what you do is you get in with someone, you get a job, you work that job, you work really, really, really hard. You make connections while you're on that job, and you prove that you're a good worker, that you're knowledgeable, that you know what you're doing. You remember those people that you talked to and that you interacted with and that you worked with, contact them afterwards and say, hey, it was really great to work with you, blah, 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 let me know if you hear anything in the future, this and that. And then you kind of meander around and look for other jobs and hope that somebody looks out for you. Well, that's kind of what happened, to me at least. I worked a job a while back. Those of you who've been with me since then, it was like the feature-length film that was a lot of fun to do. Worked that, and somebody from that just emailed me today, actually. I got the email today, and was like, hey, I have this lead, and you should look into it, and contact the DP and the director of photography or the cinematographer, and let me know, and I may know the guy, and I'm able to get you in on it. I was like, sweet, that's awesome. He was like, yeah, so it's in mid-September. Mid-September is when I'm planning on already being in England for like a week and a half at that point. So, rather difficult decision, because I can either like go to England and kind of hope to hear from them like in that time while I'm there, and then just like quickly fly back and go work, or hope to hear from them beforehand and then like quickly change my plans in England, or really hope that like the film gets bumped back or something to like October or something like that, because I really don't want to have to bump my plane ticket if I don't have to. That would be frustrating, and I'd probably have to pay more, and I got a special deal, and it's likely that I'm not going to get that deal again, So I have this decision in front of me that I'm like, do I go with the film and forego England, or do I stick to my guns, go with England, and kind of say, let me know next time? Which, by the way, is not a really great thing to say to people in this business either. Because if you don't do it, then if you're like, no, I'm not going to do it, I got other things I'm doing, that doesn't go over very well. That's kind of like saying, thanks, but I don't need your help. This you're not as important. That doesn't go very well. So yeah. But another thing though is that even if I apply for the film to work it, it's no guarantee that I'm gonna get it. So I am gonna go ahead and apply for it. This is mostly if they offer me the job, I gotta make a decision. And that's really tough, because I've really wanted to go to England for since I was 16. And I'm not 16 right now, if in case you're wondering. And so it's been a really big thing for me. And I've already, I bought my plane ticket, my passport's in the mail, I've made plans for housing and things like that, and places to stay and places to go, and I've told people in September, so it's like, I really don't want to have to change that if I don't need to. I'm really, my the ideal situation is that the film gets bumped back to like October, and then I go to England, I have a fantastic time, I come back, I go work. Like that, because that's my biggest stress right now anyway, is when I get back from England, I have no job in front of me. So that's kind of difficult to work. I mean, technically I don't have a job in front of me right now either. But specifically when I get back from England, after spending a bunch of money, going on this trip, coming home to nothing, that's a little bit stressful. So hopefully, I really, really hope that it turns out that way. That would be amazing if it all worked out that way. But yeah, there's something else I was gonna say. Oh, that's right. So I took my car to a repair place yesterday because it's making noises and smelling funny. So I'm like, hey, can you fix this? And they're like, yeah, sure, come back tomorrow. I'm like, all right, cool. What time? They're like, oh, 10 o'clock. I'm like, all right, great. Get home, go about my business, do things, stream, you know, all that kind of stuff. Go to bed, wake up at 10:40 to my dad walking in being like, didn't you have an appointment this morning? And I was like, no, that was last Thursday, because last Thursday I had an appointment with something. Like, no, that was last Thursday. What are you talking about? And he was like, your car? I was like, oh yeah, that. That's right, the whole thing that I spent most of yesterday trying to figure out. Yeah, that, okay. Yeah, I'll call them. So, I feel like an adult. The biggest thing is that I actually did set my alarm last night. But I set my alarm that I forgot that a couple days ago I had turned off. So I set an alarm that was never going to go off. Really great job there. So yeah, there's gotta figure that out today too. So lots of different things. Plus my room is a mess. I'm very glad that you can't see it right now because it's a mess. So I'm gonna clean that up. I'm gonna reorganize things. I'm gonna figure out my car stuff, and I'm gonna respond back to that job. Wish me luck, and thanks so much for grabbing a cup with me.